All right, so it's hard to believe this is actually video number 100. I want to thank all of you that have subscribed. I want to thank all of you who have reached out to your networks and invited others to be a part of this. It means a lot, and I look forward to the next 100 videos. So in this video, I thought I would take the opportunity at video 100 to sort of talk about my big why, right? Why have I decided to sort of fixate and create what I call pride of ownership rentals? This is something that sort of evolved over time. It's something that I've known about and sort of felt for years, and I think I want to start tackling this more and more. And as you'll see, we'll go through this. So let me talk about why I'm doing this and why pride of ownerships is a thing that I'm going to go after. So as always, go through the goals. So again, we're going to have a whole slide on why I chose to create pride of ownership turnkey rentals. And again, I want to highlight that this is just not your average turnkey rentals. I've seen and reviewed many different turnkey rentals, and as far as I'm concerned, they consider themselves turnkey if they're selling you a property that has a tenant inside. It doesn't have any notion of the quality of the tenant, doesn't have any notion of the rent that they're paying, doesn't have any notice of condition. They're basically, hey, here's a house, it's occupied, congratulations, it's turnkey. That's not what I'm doing. So we'll talk about that next. We'll talk about the buyer profiles because I've already identified several individuals that are very interested in this, and actually have a small list of folks that are looking for the next ones. So we'll talk about what I see as a consistency, and then we'll talk about the goals of the program, and we'll sort of wrap up from there. Okay. So why pride of ownership rentals? Well, the simple answer is I have too many friends and friends of friends who suffer from crap. And as you recall, I consider crap to be cash rich and asset poor. Cash is a depreciating asset. It's nice. It doesn't do anything. It often sits there and vanishes. It's one thing to have some cash and a reserve fund perhaps, but at some point it's not productive, at least in my opinion. Again, I have too many friends and friends of friends talking about buying rental properties. But frankly, their constraint is time. They don't have time to research markets. They don't have time to interview property managers. They don't have time to do repairs. They don't have time to do endless amounts of things. So that's something that I want to try to help with. Again, I have too many friends and friends of friends who get stuck in data analysis, right? They know they want to do it. They want to build the Uber spreadsheets. They want to ask all the questions. They want to take it down to the penny, and they just, they built the sexiest spreadsheets, but they don't really go anywhere because they just don't have enough of the variables to be comfortable. Right? That's what they're doing when they go after data analysis. They want to be comfortable and feel like they're making a good decision. And unfortunately, it's tough to do that when you're just looking at a spreadsheet. Right? You've got to understand what you're buying, what it's renting for, what's the story, and all of that. Sensing a theme, I have too many friends and friends of friends buy junk. That leads to poor returns, right? I did this 15 or 20 years ago now, where I would see a house and it would be the cheapest house out there. That's one way to go, and if you live in a market and that's what you do, and you don't have a demanding full-time job, it works. But it's not for most of the people. I think most of the landlords and people that take a shot at this get burned because they buy junk. Right? It's not a great property. It's been well used. It hasn't been repaired. It's got leaks everywhere. The tenant quality sucks. Evictions and just all this stuff. And I think that causes too many people to start and stop and then punch out and take a loss on the one and only chance. So I don't want people buying junk. And then finally, no one else is doing it. Again, I said earlier, there's a bunch of turnkeys guys out there, but they're just producing stuff that has tenants. All their rehabs are average, right? They're doing new paint, sure. They're putting in some cheap-ass carpet, sure. They're going through and doing a thorough cleaning. But they're not going in and moving walls and reconfiguring things and putting in drop lights and ceiling fans and, granite countertops and backsplashes and little decorative things in the showers. Right? So I'm going to be spending the extra 10 grand to take an average rehab to really dress it up. for a couple of things. First, it's going to allow us to increase rents ever so slightly. It's going to allow us to really be picky on our tenant selection. And ideally, it's going to allow us to have a couple of years of very low expenses because everything is going to be new. So again, lots of people need help. I want to help. Doesn't seem to be a market that anybody, or at least many people, are doing. So that's why I'm doing it. So what have I seen, right? So my buyer profiles typically have a pile of cash or stock or RSUs or whatever. But they understand that, that pile, while maybe even impressive, isn't really going to lead to real wealth. They realize that they need to buy assets that are indexed for inflation, or at least inflation protected. They need to buy assets that spin off cash, even if it's just a little bit of cash now, but more as time goes by, in principal reduction and rent increases and all of that. The other thing that's important for me, right, because we're buying, or they're going to be buying, pride of ownership properties, they're going to have to put more down. All right, if you're going to go buy junk, maybe you can get by with 20%. I would tell you that that's fictitious. Your spreadsheet's lying to you. But yeah, you can make your spreadsheet bend and sort of look like you're producing cash flow. You're not going to be able to put 20% down in most of the stuff you buy from me in cash flow, because you're going to be buying it at market, right? And the stuff I'm producing could be bought by owner occupants. And that just means if you're going to be buying one of my properties, you're going to be playing market, which is, it's not a bad thing. But again, I won't let you buy an alligator. So if you're going to buy something from me, we're going to talk, and you're not going to put 20 or 25% down. We'll run the numbers, put in put more down so that you have cash flow every month. You don't want the stress of feeding something every month. Okay, that's not okay. I won't let that happen. And then again, right, they understand that, hey, they are going to be buying a pride of ownership property that's had the extra 10 or 15 grand put into it, and they're not going to try to buy it at a junk price, right? So they're going to buy it and realize that not only are they buying the right property, but they're going to buy it when it's already leased, and it's going to be leased at market, right? So if we're doing a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, 3-2, whatever it is, and a junk property rents for $900, you're going to be getting $1,100 at least when you work with me. So again, we're going to be selling properties that are turnkey and already rented at market, and all redone. So I think I want to do going forward is to start targeting one pride of ownership rental a month going forward, because they take 4 to 6 weeks to get done because they are big remodels. You can get by with doing a 2 or 3 week remodel if you're just doing the lipstick and all of that, but that's not what I want to do. I'm willing to put in the extra time and dollars to produce even less units, but the ones I produce I'll be proud of and really help people. I would like to identify the buyers before I complete the remodel. This allows me to work with people and sort of and know what's coming and show them the befores and afters and all of that. But also it cuts down on my hold time, right? If I get to the end of a project and nobody's interested in buying it, I'm just going to put it on the MLS and let owner occupants buy it, because that's the kind of quality I'm producing. I actually may get more money doing that way. My hold time will be longer, right? So I'd rather work with somebody during the remodel and know who's buying it once we're done. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'll just put it on the MLS and wait 45 days after that to get it done. Again, I just said this, right? If there's no buyer, the stuff that I'm producing will be attractive to owner occupants. The other thing I like to do is I like to go find properties that are slumlord properties that are just bad for neighborhoods. It's bad for tenants. It's bad for owners. Bad for the city. And then through tens of thousands of dollars, turn it into something that's going to be pride of ownership and frankly raise the value of every house around it on the street. And if you do enough of them around the street, and others do, it actually improves neighborhoods. That's a big goal of mine. So the other thing, if you're interested in buying a pride of ownership rental, and there's plenty of videos on here talking about them, you need to reach out to me and let me know. All right, we need to have a discussion. I need to get your name and number down and sort of what you're thinking about, because I'm only producing a couple at a time. I have a few now that have some names at least in pencil, but I need to know if you're interested in these and how many you might be interested in, so that we could get a process going. We could continually communicate. Something I do with people is I communicate monthly, right at the end of the month, about where we are, right? So if you tell me you want a pride of ownership property and the month of September goes by and I haven't found anything yet, well, I'll communicate with you and tell you what we're doing and when I expect to have something. But again, if you're interested in this program, first go back and look at all the videos, but then go ahead and reach out to me and let me know that you are interested, and we will continue the conversation and get started. Lastly, this is a video that I'm hoping you share with your friends who talk about buying rental properties. I think you should share this video with all of them because likely they need to be buying what I call pride of ownership rentals. They don't want to buy junk. They don't want to get stuck in data analysis. They don't want to get stuck buying alligators. Help your friends. This is something that I'm particularly passionate about. I'm most interested in helping people buy their first rental and be successful. I don't like it when they get burned by buying junky turnkeys. I don't like it when they get burned by buying properties that have lots of repairs. So please share this video out on your YouTube channel. Tell them to check it out. I think they'll be very interested, and who knows, maybe one of your friends will reach out and be interested in buying a pride of ownership rental from me. Have a great day. Thank you very much.